Hey, 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 ooh, ooh, ooh. You on the right stuff, boy.
And we're back. It's your boy Ivy Joe.
Hey, it's the Jack Daniels Don. That's just Tingle.
And we are Hot Takes and Half Truths.
You already know. Well, just because we agree don't mean we agree, you dig?
Already. Live on the JT Squared hotline, we have the co-host. What you doing, man?
Yeah. Man, I'm on punishment, man. I can't leave the house tonight.
I hear you, man. I see you. I told you about that, man.
Yeah, you did.
Recorded live from the JKM studios in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Yeah.
Dude, rough week this week, man.
Rough week.
Rough week, man. I don't even know. I don't even know how to start.
I'm still over that shit, bro.
What happened?
I said I'm still not over that shit, bro. Honestly.
You can't be, man. That shit gonna be hard to get over, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt, and it's crazy because I followed dude pretty closely, man, and just kind of kept up with how how he was moving around in the business world and things, and
very something to definitely admire, look up to.
Yeah, no doubt, definitely.
Especially I mean, he's man.
Oh yeah, 33. So I mean, I guess we'll introduce it. People probably already know what we're talking about, but the late great Nipsey Hussle, man, lost his life to
foolishness.
I don't even know what to attribute it to, man. Whether it was greed, hatred, or whatever. But
as the saying goes, hurt people, man.
They say that
he's a hurt individual, man. Because when you think about it, and I guess we jumped right into that, but when you think about it, he essentially did this because the man didn't want him on his property, and being that it's a commercial property, that man has the right to refuse you business. I think the thing that I guess that was the biggest on my mind this week was essentially, if that was a white man, he wouldn't have done that. He would just talk some shit, maybe assaulted him, or maybe even damaged some of his property, but he wouldn't have resorted to that.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know, man.
Ain't no property involved.
I heard one of the testimonies of one of the dudes that was there, and he what he said was the gentleman walked up to him, and they were chopping it up. That he shook everybody's hands, So it's not even. I know the story that was floating around was Nipsey told him, man, you can't come around here, man, because of his reputation as a snitch or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But there's actually an interview with the dude that was right by Nipsey. The dude said he literally just walked away, and 5 seconds later, that happened. But he said the dude walked up, they was chopping it up a little bit, and they had a little exchange, but it wasn't. I guess the context. He never made the context seem like it was hostile or like Nipsey was disrespecting him. It was just kind of like, hey man, this is just what it is, bro. You know how it goes, man.
Yeah.
And he said the dude. He said he left to get a burger, and I believe he said the dude left like he was gonna get a burger or something too, or went and got a burger, came back, I think it was, and then left again. And that's when the dude left to get a burger. Then he came back busting. But regardless, man, it's a senseless violence. Just you took a great man, lost his life. Right as he was in the catching his stride in life.
Yes,
he was just catching it, bro. He had deals with Puma. He was an investor in cryptocurrencies and
heavily invested in his community, man, which is admirable.
Yeah, definitely. Just bought the building. And the guy that was giving the interview was his business partner. So he was saying that, they just bought that building. found out the day after he got killed, he was supposed to meet with the police superintendent to talk about making the neighborhood community safer and stuff.
I
So
saw that on I think Monday.
yeah,
I mean,
nah, man, that shit was tough, man. It was hard to swallow, and I mean,
man, I wasn't right the whole week, man, and I don't even really know the nigga like that. You know what I'm saying? It just, man.
That just goes to show impact, though, because even the our third co-host, Champ,
yeah.
honorable co-host,
Yeah.
but even Champ was like he never really listened to the music. He was like, but he was touched just by seeing all the love that people was pouring out for him, and then he made him look into the dude a little more, and he was just like, yo, this dude,
He did a
this
lot.
dude got one of the good ones.
Yeah, he did a lot in that 33 years.
Yeah, man. No doubt.
But on the cusp of doing way more.
Yeah, definitely. He was one of the investors in this Vector 90 business as well, which was like think of it like a cafe for entrepreneurs, man.
I know. Hey man, I'm into what he's been into now. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's the reason why I like dude, man. And I'm like, man, that's how you supposed to do it. Like if you a young hustling, rap nigga from the hood, that's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think as far as everyone, I mean, I'm sure a lot of niggas before him have done it, but they haven't done it in his way. Because a lot of times you'll see, because like cats like Cameron, they have a lot of businesses they own, but you don't know where they at. You know what I'm saying? You don't know where they at. You just know he owns, a few Golden Corrals somewhere, because he don't want you to know, because he don't want people not to go there because of him. Whereas Nip was up front with everything. He was like, yo, I'm doing this for the hood. Well, as far as doing things for people, the hood.
Man, and yeah, but I don't want to take away from Cameron, because you don't always got to
taking away from Cameron. I'm just saying that's different. He was, he did it in his way. He did it differently. This is like one of the first cats that was like, yo, I'm still in the position where I would go to the hood. Like, a nigga like Jay-Z ain't gonna go hanging it. When he really started giving back, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as buying up property and stuff, doing different big business type things, I think he was already too big to go back to his hood.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Jay still moved through the hood. But no, I feel you. But yeah, man, so Nip was
I'm just saying,
Nip was the Robin Hood of the Rolling 60s, man. So he was every bit of knowledge he was gaining, he was bringing it back to the hood and spreading it. Every bit of opportunity he was fortunate to learn about, he was trying to find a way to incorporate that in the hood, to give his people a fighting chance, man, out there. That's why I like that Vector 60 idea. I just kind of found out about that platform, but a place for people with ideas
for about a year or two,
collaborate and work, and and then if your idea blossoms enough, you got retail space or whatever, commercial space right above where you can go up and rent a unit and get busy. So that was kind of dope, man. That was definitely dope.
Yeah.
But
he been doing that for about. Yeah, I want to say, man, that's been going on for about 2 years, bro. At least a year.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. I just never knew what it was until fortunately, this incident happened, and now people are associating his name with it and stuff. And
essentially, I guess what he was trying to do was like kind of have that idea of the tech space, where the tech people are able to go to have that space where they can come together and collaborate, and then have an opportunity to like get space to build their idea. That was his idea to bring that to South Central. So yeah. Dude been on the cusp of a lot of things, at least for the hood.
Yeah, no doubt. So just want to say R.I.P. man. Rip Nip. He was a real one. He was definitely a real one, man.
Rest in power, man.
Probably hit it to my voice right now, man. I'm really shook up over here, and it's damn. This shit, feel like this is how I felt when Pop, was gone, and when Biggie was gone. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. I feel like I lost like a nigga I knew. her brother or something like that.
Yeah.
Because just some of the game I was
Yeah.
picking up on from him. So man,
Yeah.
rest in paradise, young man. And like everybody been tweeting and saying, bro, the marathon continues. So we're
Exactly.
gonna keep pushing.
Exactly. Well, I echo
Gonna
your
keep
sentiments,
pushing.
my man. How about we in honor of our man Nipsey, we give him a 10-second salute.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. R.I.P. that man, Nipsey. Prayers out to his family, his girl, his kids, and all his family and all his friends.
No doubt, no doubt.
Where you want to go with from there, man? I mean, we kind of skipped over a couple things. You want to go back into there? I guess I could let you
Yeah.
use a drink after that. Like bullshit.
Oh, I got it. I got it right here, man. I was gonna say if I wasn't in my office, I pour out a little Jack Easy for my boy, but unfortunately, I can't do that, or the missus, my punishment would be extended. So,
We can't have that.
but yeah, man, let's go ahead and go back and touch everything that we missed.
So I guess with that said, we'll start with the drink of the week for you. What you sipping on over there?
Hey, man, you heard me say I was the Jack Daniel Don. So
Jack Daniel, huh?
yeah, man, so something simple, something light this week since I left the proper show place, anticipating
Yeah.
being
Well, it's
over
still
there.
here, baby. I'm looking at it right now. It'll be here waiting on you next week.
Okay, for sure. So we'll hit that next week. And we'll also be back on our video shit next week because got more equipment coming in. You dig?
Yes,
But yeah, man. So that's it. Just a little, something like Jack Daniel's honey, neat.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I'm sipping out the bottle, really. So it is what.
I'm probably gonna be doing the same because I'm gonna be re-upping on this almanac.
There you go.
Re-up on this almanac since it's Joliet.
There you go.
Joliet. All right, well shit. Let me go ahead and give you.
So, we could probably save the weekly recap because I ain't do shit. I've been having training on my end. So, what about yourself?
All right, man. I've been working on the fucking presentation all week. So, and getting home and at work. Working on a presentation all week. I turned in today. And shit, like this shit been on my mind all week because I guess every time you go on social media, you see some more shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
And I guess the one thing I will say, I guess to turn it out, I guess I guess it's all about he said it before in his in fucking interviews. It's crazy, man. Cause you go back and you look at some of his old interviews talking about people hating in your hood and why the dichotomy behind why people are upset and get upset with each other and kill each other because this man's mad at him because we came from the same place and I got to where I'm at and you ain't do nothing for the most part. Your parents ain't really proud of you. You ain't got what I'm saying, that type of shit. And man, that's pretty much what this is. Like this man, I don't want to say spoke it, but that was kind of eerie watching that interview.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, he wasn't. I won't say he was. He wasn't a prophet in that moment, right?
No, he was just talking about what he's seen.
Yeah, and explaining what goes around or goes on in that type of environment and why it's difficult to escape it. One, really, that's it, and why it's difficult to escape it. To escape it and to be of the people at the same time.
Yeah.
Right, because you touched on it earlier, right? With your Jay-Z comments, right? Which is like, Jay-Z got big, and then to know, this isn't a diss to him, but he got big and he kind of got up out of the hood where he's from, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Kodak is now living out in Calabasas, because of what happened to XXX.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the truth of the matter is that, you come from somewhere and it's a part of you. And as much as it's a part of you, you you also know that like that's where probably your greatest danger lies. No matter what you appear to be doing for that location. Um, and Boosie, I think you sent me that. Did you tag me in that?
I ain't tagging you in it, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, the Boosie comments, and Boosie basically said the same thing. That it's like it be niggas in your own hood, man. That's hating on you for whatever reason, and I don't know what to call that, man. But what I would I guess associated with the most is somebody feeling so bad for themselves, but not realizing that everybody go through shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You kind of touched on it where you were like, maybe the parents was been pushing a certain way, or maybe they couldn't make it to the same school, or this or that, right? But we all have a journey. Everybody's got a journey. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's journey is equipped with peaks and valleys. And
Definitely.
Nipsey had an interview where he said he's not even gonna try to come off like he got all the answers. He said he's failed countless times. He
Yeah.
just didn't quit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a person looking at him like, damn, he just keep winning. He just keep winning. And the truth is that no, he's taking his L's. He just keeps moving. He learns the lesson and then he moves smarter the next time.
And that's pretty much, to be quite honest with you, that's the key. You just got to keep your head down, keep going. You can't be war is me on your L's.
That's it. And that goes for
I
pretty
think,
much anything, man.
and I think
Anything you set your mind to, if you're willing to, like you said, put your head down and just keep pushing through it, as long as you're not just repeating the same shit,
yeah,
right? Because we
yeah,
know the definition of insanity.
yeah.
As long as you are, learning from each experience and tweaking your approach, man, you should be good. You should be good to go from there. So
I think my man Jay said it best. He said something to the effect that even in defeat, it's still a valuable lesson. So it evens it up for me. Something to that effect. I'll shoot you that one.
yeah,
But yeah, I'll shoot you that Jay song, man. It's on Blueprint 2, I believe.
okay, yeah, definitely. I got Apple Music, man. So his discography is not on there, unfortunately. I might have to do the title thing just so I can revisit it because a lot of that came out in my younger days. You feel
Yeah,
me?
yeah. You can't just look up like Blueprint 2 on Apple.
Nah, none of Jay shit is on Apple.
Oh, that's
It's all on
right.
title.
You right. Yeah, that's right.
It's
That
all on
title. Yeah.
title. So I might give it a try.
Got it. Got it. With that said, I guess what you listening to, man?
Man, you already know I was listening to all this week.
Yeah, yeah. I'm about to say that one should be pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, man. Nothing but
Been nip all week.
nothing but nip. Nothing but nip all week, man. Matter of fact, if I open up Apple Music right now, it's on victory lap right now. But you know, and go victory lap. I think grinding all my life.
Yeah.
Victory lap, the intro, title track, dedication, hustle and motivate. I mean, this is a great album. Um, I think I brought it up as what I was listening to a few episodes ago, but it
Mm-hmm.
really was, man. I'm glad he got that Grammy nom. I wish he would have brought it home, but it is what it is. But to see him, damn man, you about to get me back in it.
Hey man,
Damn man.
this the big topic from the week, man. This our big topic for this week.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna belabor it, man. I don't like talking about you know, really talking about death. It's a part of life,
I
so
mean, but at the
I
same time,
accept it.
we celebrating his life too, bro. Because like he had to, you know, touch a many of folk for us to
All
be
right,
like, Going
Nigga,
that
I'm
way.
trying not to cry on air. Is what I'm trying to say. All right.
Hey, bro, what your boy say from Detroit? It's okay for men to cry. Jason,
Yeah.
what's his name? Jason what?
Um. Damn. The cry like a man. Great. Jason Wilson. Wilson.
I think so. I think it is Wilson. But
Wilson.
yeah,
Yeah.
hey, bro,
The
ain't
cave
nothing
of the
wrong with
devil.
crying, man.
Yeah. I
Hey,
ain't.
bro,
But I ain't sitting up his fight yet. So.
I was literally in Banco Cantina when I found out, and I was like, I wasn't right the rest of the day. Like it was like I think we were out maybe like 15 minutes later.
Yeah, man. It hurt. It hurt.
And I
So,
couldn't
but yeah,
quite.
man, that's what I've been listening to. I've just been revisiting his catalog, man.
Yeah,
Since y'all,
me like
um,
likewise.
yeah, all that. So, and I think I'll be on it for a while too, just in remembrance. So that's what it is, man.
Already.
What about yourself? Anything?
Oh man, I'm likewise, baby. I've been listening to that all week, baby.
Okay.
Whenever I get a
No
chance,
doubt.
I'm either YouTubing it or listen to that victory lap. I mean, I definitely been kind of dipping and diving into some of the old stuff too, especially that one with him and Drake, Killer. That shit goes so hard.
Okay.
That shit goes so hard, nigga.
Yeah, man. So for everybody listening out there, yeah, if you listening, stream that Nipsey, man, because he owned his masters. So all that money goes back to
Yes,
his estate, his
and that
family
song
estate.
is on his fucking mistake, so that's his too.
Yeah. So there you go. So stream all that, man. I also fuck with that
Go ahead.
the Flossing Boy too.
Okay.
I love the tape. That was one of my favorite tapes. So but yeah, man. So pushing forward, I guess. Try to, bring shed a little light or bring a little positivity here. I mean, Missy was positive, so that is positive. It's, sad what happened to him, but his legacy will go on and will be positive. But
It's on everyone though to do that. So I mean, we gonna do our part, to keep the legacy moving forward. So
no doubt,
that's all we can do.
no doubt, no doubt.
All right. Well,
So
in
what's next?
that instance, from one memorial to another, sort of death of another, the Bezos divorce.
I was about to say, where the hell are you going with that?
Well, I mean, that's a death of a sort, death of a relationship.
I think in Latin, divorce means to die or something like that.
See, didn't even know that.
So yeah, you're right. You're right. So update the people, man. Fill the people in. What's going on with good old
back in
Bezos?
January, I guess in our first episode, if I'm not mistaken, we was talking about Mr. Bezos and his penchant for Latin women.
His affinity.
Yeah, his affinity for Latin women, particularly Miss Lauren Sanchez. And at that particular point, him and his wife, Miss Mackenzie Bezos, had announced that they were going to divorce. Well, this week, they announced their settlement. And Miss Bezos is she.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Before you announce,
Go ahead.
we
Go
can't
ahead.
dive right into it.
Get in
What do you think of this bullshit ass announcement, man?
You know what? So I guess let me take it one step back and then come forward. So I think the biggest thing that surprised me was how big company CEOs are protected, like essentially the president, because their GDP is almost like it's like a lot of countries. So if something was to happen to them, then that's basically equivalent of a country going into turmoil. And I never forget my homeboy that's in Arkansas with Walmart kind of mentioned that, and I was like, damn, that's right. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone was a knockoff one of these big Fortune 100 CEOs, that would be some serious turmoil, particularly with the stock market.
So when you say protected, you mean literally? You mean like he's
Literally,
walking around?
like
Oh,
security.
well, yeah, he's the richest man in the world.
But
What do you think
I
he?
mean, I'm talking. I'm not even talking about him. I'm talking about just CEOs in particular. And when you take that into account, and essentially this is her company too. She don't want the stock price to fall. So it was all for the betterment of the company, in my view. And they just had the
Well,
biggest. They just had the wherewithal to see the big picture. Because I'm sure she pissed.
oh no, you know she's pissed. You know she's fucking pissed. Um,
But because of the situation that they're in with being such a big conglomerate, the second largest company in the world, third largest company in the world, something like that.
something like that. I think Alibaba's first Chinese company.
Nah,
But
I actually, who's the biggest company in the world? And I thought, I
oh,
meant to like hit you up about that.
what
They
Walmart?
no, they
Who?
finally, them boys in the Middle East finally let people into their finances, and they are the official largest company in the world. They're all company, Arab Co or something like that.
Oh, all right.
That motherfucker did about, I think they said they did like 175 billion last year.
Okay, what do you mean by biggest though?
What you mean?
What metric are you using to judge biggest?
No, like so, coming up into the last few years, you know how they've been saying like Apple and Microsoft and Amazon were kind of like going back and forth about being a trillion dollar company.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
they're saying that company, them Arab boys, they're actually the largest company in the world now, and they dwarf everyone else based on their profits. I'll shoot you the.
Okay.
I'll shoot you the. I'll shoot you the article because I meant to. I knew it was something I wanted to talk to you about on the show, and
Well, okay.
that was
Well,
interesting because like I think they said for like the last 30, 40 years they didn't allow anything, but they're looking to raise money for an acquisition, and so they kind of had to open some of their books up so that they can kind of do the IPO, and that's how they got to look at it. And it's like shit. You thought Apple and saying Microsoft is making money. These boys is making money. Now you know why they got so many fucking sheets, rich as shit.
yeah, you got to show me something because I'm looking at top 10 and Walmart number one, 500.
Like literally, it's not. It's probably not going to be in any like old articles right now because like it literally just dropped this week. Matter of fact, when you get back to work, it probably was in one of them brews.
All right. I mean, it is what it is. What's
But
my
anyway,
point?
back to what I was saying. Hey, I just think they took the big picture. She took the big picture, and she didn't want to lose any market cap. She was like, "Fuck it, I worked hard, so let me play the game like I'm supposed to, so I can
All
get
right.
my money."
That all that. Yeah, that was bullshit. They
Oh
had
yeah,
somebody write their statement.
yeah. Of course they did. They
Does
too rich to do this,
divorced
man.
woman sound like that in the history of divorced women?
Man, they too
Don't
rich to
know a
do this,
divorced
man.
man sound like that. Matter of fact, the
They,
man would more likely
Go ahead.
sound more distraught. I feel like in the history than the woman would, historically speaking.
Well, I mean, it is the most expensive divorce in history, so maybe that's why.
Look, man, no, it wasn't the most expensive divorce. That was the most expensive box.
Yeah.
That was a $35 billion box, my boy,
Already, man.
and it
Already.
was not worth it. We had that conversation too. It ain't worth it.
Yeah.
It ain't worth
I
it,
mean, but the
my boy.
man's still worth 110 though.
Yeah, but it could be worth 145 or whatever it was. So,
I mean, I guess he
so
was
I
just
will give an actual statistic on this.
okay.
So basically, his wife and himself, they released their little statements right on Twitter. They tweeted it, and Jeff didn't give no details. He didn't give no numbers. He just basically said, "Hey, we still care about each other. We still continue to be friends or something like that going forward, and take care of the kids." Blah blah blah.
See, he
But the
probably
wife said
yeah. Go ahead.
that basically she gave up all of her interest
Yep.
in the Washington Post and the company Blue Origins, as well as 75%, or Jeff retained 75% of their Amazon stock.
Yep.
And what they mean by that is the stock portfolio that they had as a family.
Mm-hmm.
So what that works out to is her getting 25%, which
is the equivalent of 4%.
Basically works out to 4% of Amazon's outstanding shares, which is valued at a whopping $35 billion fucking dollars.
Bravo, Miss McKenzie. Bravo.
Miss Sanchez should be she needs, how they have like Miss Universe?
Yeah.
She needs a sash that says like $35 billion box.
Well, man, I mean, the one thing I will say, I'm sure my man Bezos has learned his lesson. He's gonna definitely have a nice, if this go any further, have a nice prenuptial going forward. Shit, I bet he was pissed off that she said 75%.
Yeah, I bet. But neither one of them wrote that. They probably the same speechwriter wrote both of those. It was just like, look, we gotta give them something.
I bet they both had their own. You know how they got. You know how the president and the first lady have like they chief of staffs. I bet essentially their body guy or their quote unquote chief of staff figured this shit out, and she told her, make sure you tell them 75%, so they know I got 25%.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, but that was a terrible example because we all know the first lady right now just took her speech from the previous first lady, the real first lady. So,
well, you know what I mean, bro.
Yeah, I was just saying. That reference. That reference was a bit old. You had to say that back in like 2015, man.
Well, shit. And fuck, hell, Bezos was probably laying up with his boo when all this shit came down. Like, yeah, that worked.
Bezos is about. I guarantee you, Bezos ain't talking to her no more. And this nigga invested in Jergens. That shit.
Hey, bro, he free now, baby. He free now. I found out this shit. I was watching Joe Rogan's podcast here and there, and that fool got a $600 million deal with the CIA. That's crazy.
I don't know what the hell does that mean.
He got a $600 million deal to basically handle their cloud computing information.
Oh, nice.
And a little bit scary. You know that nigga knows some shit.
And plus, CIA is all foreign, so I don't care.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying? It's not like
they always say they foreign, man. It's hard to like turn that ear off when you happen to turn it towards the state side.
All right, here you go with the conspiracy.
I mean, look, I'm not really a big conspiracy theorist guy, but at the same time, I'm black, right? We have a reason to feel like there's such thing as conspiracy because our government has been working against us since we stepped on this continent.
Well, be that as it may, that shit couldn't stop Bezos from getting divorced. To bring it back.
Hey, bro, he was just tired, man. He was ready for it to be over with. He was ready to get back to his roots of South Florida and his Latin women.
I don't know, man. I don't think he was. I don't think he wanted this to surface. I don't think he wanted it to get this far. But
Probably not.
you know,
It never.
a woman.
They never do.
You know, it is what it is.
They
So it's
never
like
do.
you can be done with it, or you can let it play out publicly and bankrupt the company. So I think he just severed ties as amicably as possible. So what else we got, man?
All right. Well, with that said, hey, it's cheaper to keep her, fellas. Cheaper to keep her. Next up on the docket is our current sitting Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVos. She's the wife of Dick DeVos, who is the son of the founder of Amway. He's a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
She's actually come from, money as well. Her father had like a manufacturing company, Still Dies. Upon his death, they sold it for a little over $1 billion. So, but I will say the ironic factoid is her brother is Eric Prince, Blackwater fame. So, with that said, this week she's been in the news with basically saying that larger class size is better for students, which is total BS. But she has a history of supporting quote unquote school choice, school voucher programs, as well as charter schools. If you listen to any of our podcasts in the past, I'm sure I've been on my rant of I don't believe in charter schools. I'm sure there are some good ones out there. In fact, I have a family member that has a couple. So, but at the same time, as a whole, I don't believe in them. Only because I just feel like that's taking money from fixing the problem of our public schools that need the money to make those corrections. With that said, her background is being a National Republican Committee woman for the state of Michigan, 92 to 97. Then she became the chair of the state party from 96 to 2000. And as you may have guessed, wrote a pretty big fucking check to Donald Trump in the run up to the election, and he rewarded her with becoming Secretary of Education.
All that said, that plan is dumb as fuck.
Yes. but that's just a microcosm of what how clueless she is. She's the first Secretary of Education to have not been a teacher. The first, and the fact
it shows.
And the fact that she is spewing this nonsense, it's just you that it's definitely a Republican ploy, but definitely a elitist ploy to, make under the guise of choice, make education that much more worse for those that can't afford to go out and put their kids in the best schools.
Yep.
With that said, just kind of a couple more stats that I happen to run by. She's a big proponent of charter schools. She wanted to allocate, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, 50 to 60 billion more to charter schools. And as it may happen, the week that she was on Congress and testifying, a study came out saying that we as a country have lost $1 billion in spending on charter schools from the extent that they either closed before they even opened or closed because they were mismanaged, for poor performance, or even just outright fraud. They said over 1,000 grants between 2009 and 16 went to schools that never opened.
You don't say.
Shit. So, and that's from the Network of Public Education New York study. So, just know I ain't just, you know,
So I mean,
pushing some
it
shit
is
on
what
my
it is.
ass.
She's lobbying for something. You know, she's pushing for something.
Well, that's
And
the whole point, man. Like that's what Republicans want to do. They want us to privatize everything so that when we actually need to do something drastic, we can't do it because we have contracts with private businesses, and that's going to cost even more to break those contracts, or even to the extent that we talked about this before. The private sector and the public sector have two totally fundamental different purposes. And while there are some avenues in which they kind of have some symmetry, but for the most part, you don't get past the bottom line of business, which is cut a profit. And then on the flip side, for public sector is provide a service. Like those two, and when you go private, there's plenty of private organizations, for-profit organizations that their business model is to say, to hell with the service, we just gonna make money on the margins. And you tell me what citizen wants their government to treat them like that? And that's essentially what's gonna happen when inevitably the CEO of these companies that took over these services for the public sector says, I need to make more money. How can I drive more value, get more out of that spigot? It's inevitable. And the same goes with these charter schools. You know what I'm saying? Even the ones that are good, eventually the money that's coming from the public sector isn't going to cover all the costs. Now all of a sudden it's going to be them hidden costs that you never knew of. Now, essentially, to come to these schools now, it's going to be $1,000, and that's just to cover like lab costs or gym fees, or you know what I'm saying. Like before you know it, it ain't going to be just like going to the public school no more. It's going to be a cost to go to these schools outside of what you already paying in your taxes. But I'm off my soapbox.
I don't say you really delved into this topic.
I told you, man. I have that MPA, man. It don't go away. This is we talked about this in school, bro. And it's a big deal in where I'm coming from, where I came from, because after the Katrina, that's kind of what the rich conservative boys in New Orleans. That's kind of what they're doing down there, and that's how my family member actually got into it. They opened their first one in New Orleans right after Katrina, around 2009.
Well, I would say that she's got to propose that, and it's got to be accepted. And I don't think it'll ever be.
No, it's not going to happen. So it's not going to happen. Like that,
right.
That's the biggest thing. They already know because of who's in charge in the Congress, what they want to do. It's not going to happen. But at the same time, it's just showing what their beliefs are.
Yeah. But so there's two parts of that. One, it's not going to happen. The second part is the comment that that's what the conservatives do. And you didn't say this, but it was kind of part of the situation, right? Is that after Katrina, we all know the condition that Louisiana was in, especially like New Orleans, Baton Rouge,
North Shore.
The
Mississippi.
Yeah, exactly. And if your cousin got in, your cousin was what I would say was that was making a wise investment.
Yep, he did.
And what I mean by that
definitely did that. They did that.
Which is and what I mean by that is, and it's unrelated to the overall topic, but it should be pointed out because you're saying that the conservatives, the Republicans are running away with it, but we as black people need to, we got to get in the game so that they can't,
Mm-hmm.
So where opportunities like that happen, we have to learn these rules of the game and understand how money's being allocated and understand how to, put our piece on the chessboard, so to speak, so that we can get some of this funding and so that we can have a ticket which is worth a vote. right? When things are happening in our immediate environment and communities, and that's I don't see a lot of that happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm just not privy to see it. But that's something we got to get better at, man.
Yeah.
I follow you on Instagram, and I think his account is just like I think his name is like Investor or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But all he does is just give game. He's like, he's in Houston, and the other day he posted something. He was in like the Fifth Ward of Houston, and in this neighborhood, he's got like 5 houses that are damn near dilapidated, and then one like brand new house. And he's like, most people say, complain and say that this is gentrification, right? And he says that, you see it happening. You know what I'm saying? Like you see it taking place, but rather than doing something to prevent it, so what he's doing is buying houses and, trying to preserve the community. He's also making money off of it, right, as an investor, but it's like he's helping control that, how that community develops and what they do with some of the things there. But he's like, but you can't do that from the sidelines, just pointing and booing at people moving, because bulldozers don't stop because you boo. No. You know what I'm saying? They coming in, they putting up high rises. So he said, when you start seeing stuff like that, he's like, just know that the ball is in play. It's already in play. So what you need to do instead is pull your resources, or don't pull it and just go invest on your own and get in the game. Because once you get in the game, that's where you can we can fight and say, yo, that's a historical district. We don't know. You're not putting nothing over there. There's meaning to that area. You know what I'm saying? There's meaning to that park, to that rec center.
Yeah.
And that's what we got to do. So why I agree with your overarching point, right? With them trying to privatize education, and how it can possibly hurt the public sector, or the public period, not the public sector, but the public people in public education. If that's gonna be what it's gonna be, we got to get in the game. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to, I think you said your cousin. Was it your cousin?
Yeah.
Well, yes. Kudos to them. Whoever's in the game. You know what I'm saying? Because they're in the game. And as long as we have representation in the game, then we have a vehicle to get our voice heard, and that's what I think is important.
But I guess my rebuttal to that is, the majority of people that's living in those type of places can't pool together resources to do anything.
I'm not saying.
And then even if they had, let's say, children, because I think this is one of those topics that was on Killer Mike's show. Even if they have like children that may be able to afford to do it, they don't want to be there no more. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get away. And I think that was kind of, I know we're kind of jumping around, but that's the beauty of the show. And that was kind of the beautiful thing about Nipsey in that instance, right?
Absolutely.
He actually
and that's what I'm getting back to.
And actually able to do something like this.
Well, he raised the. I don't know if he had them initially, but he raised them, and he went out there and worked, and he, struck some deals and made things happen. Yeah. And that's what it takes. So if you don't have the money, somebody. You know what I'm saying? You might know somebody. You might need to, get somebody here. A lot of deals are done not with the same person's cash. Like, people don't use their money for deals. You find somebody else with money, and you promise them a return on their money in a certain amount of time, right? Or else you got penalties. That's how you do it. Ain't nobody out here raising $1 million, on salary.
Hopefully not.
that's kind of what has to happen. If you don't have the money, then you have the voice, you have the knowledge.
True.
So you need to be down at the the city hall or somewhere, talking to the mayor or somebody, saying like, look, we see what you're doing to this neighborhood. This is a historic district. We and get that out there and start rubbing elbows with some of those people to see if they can help you. But yeah, and then it's just don't be afraid to go back and again to. So I'm not saying that everyone in the community at that moment has to be the people to do it, but like we in West Palm, man, if we driving past something on Tamarack and see high rises going up over there and stuff. It's like we know what's going on.
Yep.
You know, we know, and that's up to us to and you don't have to by all means, right? But to prevent us from being pushed out, it would be good to have some representation there. Is all I'm getting at.
True.
So,
and the thing about it, and I guess to get back on topic as far as the education situation.
man, close that shit out.
And I guess the only thing I would say is I have no problem with charter schools. I just don't want it to become the main avenue for people to try to get better education for their kids. Because ultimately I see that eventually, right now it's all love, but eventually they're gonna price you out of that too.
Yeah, and I was in agreement with that sentiment of yours, and just saying that if the game is going to be played that way, then that's what I'm saying. If it's going to be played that way, then we need representation to prevent that.
Okay.
Right.
I guess my one thing,
my
last thing on it, and if we bring up a problem, you should come up with a solution. Limited to a certain amount, maybe 5%, 10% of your total schools in your county or your district. That way, you only get the best of the best of the best, and not become like the crutch that you use for saying that you're providing better schools to your district. Because again, 1 in 4 schools never open, man. 1 in 4 schools that get grants never open.
Well, there you go.
That ain't even counting the schools that open and then close due to poor management, fraud, and whatever, or just poor performance. That's my take, baby. But just to kind of elaborate some other bullshit that she was on, and then we move on. Betsy DeVos was she suggested that they cut funding for the Special Olympics. That got 86 by her boss. She's also trying to block the law that help students that have large debts and questionable degrees from these like for-profit colleges that was put in place under the Obama administration. And lastly, but surely not leastly, she's tried 3 times to eliminate the public service loan forgiveness program for teachers, firemen, and public sector workers, where they basically, I guess, if you're not familiar with it, if you pay your loans for 10 years and have
they go away.
Yeah, no debt, and you haven't missed any payment, they'll go away. So, or at least be forgiven, as long as you're in the public sector.
Yep. Yeah, I got a friend that's getting that right now. So, yeah, I'm familiar.
I need 5 years, baby. I need 5 more years, baby. Oh, I don't think I'm going to get it, man. Don't think it's going to happen.
You ain't in the public sector?
I did 5 years, though.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I did 5 years, baby.
You better start you a nonprofit and get back to it. Stop bullshit.
Hey, man.
All right, man.
You game, baby? You game, I'm game. We already got the concept, teaching these kids how to be entrepreneurs.
I can't even leave the house, man. I ain't good. All right, let's what we got next?
Next up was
more
white privilege.
Oh, jeez. We'll start promoting them too. We're gonna start treating white people like the Catholics. Y'all got to pay to get mentioned.
Yeah. I mean, it's an old story. It's an old scandal or whatnot, news piece. But I think the reason why I wanted to talk about it today is because now they're starting to do plea deals. For those that don't know, rich people have been paying this guy William Rick Singer to get their kids into school on quote unquote athletic scholarships, as much as $25 million in bribes. They also paid to help their kids cheat on college exams. This particular scandal had 32 parents and about 18 other coaches and exam proctors, et cetera, that's involved in it. But again, I think the biggest thing I wanted to talk about, a reason why it kind of piqued my interest and I wanted to kind of, I guess, bend your ear a second on it was with them doing all these plea deals. Well, number one, I wonder if these people had darker skin, how good a plea deals would they actually get? That was the first thing that kind of came to my mind. But the second thing, and more pressing, was more or less, do you think there's going to be another shoe that drops? I mean, I'm like, you're telling me out of 350 million people in this country, let's just say roughly 4% being what we call wealthy. You're saying only 32 people actually did this? Now, granted, I guess you and I both can admit to that. A lot of rich people just do their bribing, out in the open as far as just, hey, what do you need to build this building? Hey, Lil Johnny's trying to get in next year too. Hint, hint. But you telling me these are the only people that ever did this? These are the only people that's doing this?
Man, it's like that Ashley Madison shit, man, where all the names got leaked from the professional, sex worker site and all that shit. It's just for education. Yep. Rich people, that's the problem with rich people. They're entitled and they feel like, if they feel like they can pay for anything. They feel like they can pay their way in anything. And this is, it's just further proof that they're still doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised. It's just not surprising to me. Rich people paying to get their kids into school. All right.
Yeah, but I guess what my interest is I wonder if anything's gonna come on the other side of this as far as a part of their plea deals, letting them, like, in order to get out of some time or a big fine, they kind of point towards another institution, another person that did something through someone else, and another scandal's around the corner.
Some big names that probably don't surface, but I don't know. I don't know that jail. I doubt jail time.
No, they ain't gonna get no jail. They're rich people, man. Yeah. Rich people don't go to jail.
Yeah. So I mean, what's the worst that's gonna happen? They don't have to pay, a couple hundred.
I missed
couple $100,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And ain't nothing gonna happen to them ultimately. Some of these people's kids are long gone from the school. They already paid their money. The
crazy thing is, a couple of I think majority of them are still in school. And the funny thing about it is, one of the guys that was a lawyer out in New York, his daughter's a junior in high school.
We gotta get some high quality sounds, man.
We dealing with what we got right now. Yeah, I'll put some time into that this week.
We dealing with the out of the Fruity Loops box sounds, man. But
we're better than what we were, though. So incremental improvements, baby.
That's right, man. That's right.
Hell, but we got the first call in show history.
Yeah, it's the fucking co-host. Fucking sitting here at the crib, man, with the door closed. Just can't get out. Gotcha. I'm locked up, won't let me out. Won't let me out. But yeah, so that's how I feel about that, man. It wasn't surprising when I read it. It was interesting. So
very interesting.
Read the little article. Very interesting, but not surprising.
Because the biggest thing, as far as like the scandal as a whole, I was just like, yo, why couldn't you just let your kid just get into school by making the same fucking donation? And see, that's where the privilege come in. You couldn't just get your kid into the school. You had to get your kid into school on a scholarship. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah,
an athletic scholarship that they didn't earn.
I don't give a shit. If I just paid you millions of dollars, I ain't paying no more.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's where I guess the privilege come in at, because again, rich people do this all the time. As far as, hey, I'm trying to get my son in. I hear you got this building that you're trying to get in, trying to build. What if I wrote a check for $1 million, $500,000? Oh, and little Johnny's trying to get in next year. That's how they do it up front. But then, of course, they're gonna have to pay for the schooling. But what's better than that? For you to be able to go tell someone that, yeah, my kid earned a scholarship to this good school. And so that's what they basically paying for. Being able to, when they go out and be amongst their, other people with kids, to say, my kid got a scholarship. My kid is special.
I don't know if that's what's driving it or not, but I mean,
like, what other psychology is it if you can just pay for it?
I mean, when you say they're on athletic scholarship, I imagine that means that they're on the team, right? And whether you're good or not, it's like you're on the team. So there's something that comes with that. That's how I interpret it.
So I
and
guess
I don't know if they're not playing, but it's all cap. It's all.
I guess here's the thing, big guy. I don't know if you really how far in depth you got into this, but these people didn't play sports.
Of course not. They're rich.
They didn't play sports, but but their applications said that they were, saying top in this, top in, one of the best in the country in crew. One of the best, was an All-American or All-State academic in soccer. And that was a part of their application to get into the school.
Yeah, they lied about everything. Why? So why are you surprised? Niggas lie on resumes all the time.
Because I guess the biggest thing about that is, if that was Lil Justice, you think he'll be able just to get by saying he all that and no one check on it? No one
I don't know.
no one goes and check in, Google Google these different all state, all American club sports and so see if that's facts.
But if they're bribing somebody, they're having to issue grease, making grease payments to get the kid in there, then no, I don't expect that. So if I'm paying somebody to get justice in, let's say or something like that, like, yo, he needs to be in the school, top, whatever, scholarship, grant program, whatever. No, you better not Google him.
But I think that's the biggest problem, though. That was like, when it comes to academic admissions, that's what they're supposed to do. And because it was them, they didn't.
I'm not. Well, that's how bribing works. So I'm not surprised. It's like, once you do the first step, I don't expect you to get caught at the next couple of steps, or if you don't get paid, you're not gonna get the back end. Like, I'm not giving you everything up front, especially not cash, so you can just deny it ever happened and then hit, deny it. Nah.
I guess the biggest,
a little bit now, and then when give you a little bit now, when the acceptance letters received, you'll get the rest later. That's how you ensure somebody pushing through. But again, I'm not surprised by this. People been bribing people for ages, since currency existed, I'm sure. So is it despicable? I mean, yes. Is it unfair? Certainly. But I said it earlier today. You shouldn't feel bad for your situation because somebody else appears to be in a more favorable situation. Mm-hmm. And this goes to show why you shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter if it don't matter how those kids got there. What matters is that you do what you need to do to get there. You know what I'm saying? The other day at work, we had to do a training, a little workshop where this lady asked everybody in the class, everybody in this training class, to make a line graph, right, of their life, their journey. So a line graph shows, things over time, right? So I had the most peaks and valleys of anybody in that room.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Peaks meaning like high points, valleys meaning like where I was at like all time lows in life. I probably got like 20 of them things.
20.
And I only drew half of them. But then I looked to the dude to the right of me who's this high performer for the job, and this dude got one valley. He had one issue. It's like his dog died when he was 2 or something. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel like I'm better than him or nothing like that. I don't feel like, damn, man, I had to work this much harder to get here than this guy did. I don't feel none of that. I feel like, okay, well, here we are. We both here. Beat me now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's just
'Cause that,
say that person. Well, okay, so who are these people in your job? In this, what kind of people were these in your job?
we are all regarded as high performers. So we're in an advanced development program.
Okay, and let's say, for instance, this same person got that job over you, and everyone that was in charge of picking the people that should get in this as high performers, and you know, saw that, noticed that, but it was like, oh, or should have noticed that and realized that, hey, this guy's a little more. We should get him over him maybe next year. But let's say, for instance, knowing that they still picked him before you. So that's essentially what these people are saying. Like these students were at best average students. They're getting scholarships for sports they don't even play. And someone along the line should have noticed that. There's, at some point along the line, someone could have looked this up and been like, no, this person, they're saying they're all American in tennis.
Yeah, no, I
I can
agree
go
with
and
that.
check
But
this. She ain't no matter of fact, does she even play tennis? No.
yeah, but I get that. But what what you're neglecting from the scenario you're painting is that they that it has come to light now,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's like saying, what if he gets the job before you or over me, and then a year from now they find out that he really don't know what the fuck he's doing.
But at the same time, okay, I'm glad you brought that up. These
What
kids
don't come
got
out of
in
the
there.
wash always
They got
come out of
kids
the
in school
rainbow.
now that got in over people that shouldn't have got in. That's people that play these sports that they were actually recruiting that actually should have earned those scholarships and didn't.
I don't disagree with that, but what I'm saying is that it matters not.
That does.
It matters not.
It does
If I don't get in, then I need to bust my ass and take a different path.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not the end.
hey, I don't. So I don't disagree with that, but I still say that matters. And the fact that
But
the only reason
but
why
okay.
this happened was because someone used their privilege and money to get another leg up on them. I mean, they already got a leg up on us.
You're mixing. You're playing that angle, and I'm talking about something totally different. And you're making my response to
You
it
trying to say pull
different.
yourself up by your bootstrap, and I'm like,
No,
what
I'm
if
not
people
saying
already
that.
have done that and they still?
I've already said bribery. It's illegal. We already know it's illegal. It shouldn't be happening. So I'm not condoning it, but I'm also saying that like you can't sit there and feel sorry for yourself because you didn't get in and stop there. You got to keep moving because life isn't fair. Right? Life isn't fair. If you're a minority, life isn't fair. If you're a woman, life isn't fair. If you're black, if you're a minority woman, life damn sure ain't fair. So you can't sit there and just keep watching the other person, waiting for the time where the other person falls to then claim, then make your elevator speech, right? Because as you're sitting there watching them, you're not developing. You're not bettering yourself. You need to still be out there working. You still need to, take that loss. I ain't getting to here, but this other school, it's not this school, but it's a damn good school. Keep pushing because opportunities resurface. Stay positive. Keep a good outlook. Keep a 3 to 5, 10-year plan out there. Maybe one of each, and just keep every once in a while revisiting and see how things are stacking up. As far as the bribery and shit. as far as somebody getting a job over here that they shouldn't have gotten because they're not qualified, like I say, man, what don't come out in the wash, come out in the rinse. So if you know somebody's not qualified, you don't even gotta like oust them like that. You just show up and you do your fucking job, and it'll be evident that like, okay, yeah, this person is competent, knowledgeable, hardworking, and the other person, it'll show. It will show eventually. That's what I expect. All right, man, I had 5 minutes for that talk. I thought that was like a sit rep, man, a status update.
Hey man, hey, it's all good, baby. You know, shit. We only at an hour and 10 right now, and we're going into the last topic.
Now let's do it. It'll be a first, man.
So
it'll be a first.
With that said, it's a big weekend, baby. Neither one of our teams made it to this motherfucker.
Yeah, welcome to the pine.
I was kind of hot about that too, man. I was like, man, this nigga's fucking with me. This nigga is fucking with me.
Welcome. You know, me and Taco welcome Zion Williams and LSU. Y'all come sit next to us and watch this these laughs.
Yeah, somebody finally got them boys too.
Watch some damn games, man.
So, I mean, with that said, tomorrow, 6 p.m., Final Four starts, should I say, and it will be, I believe that's Virginia Auburn at 6:09, and then around 9 the Virginia
Texas Tech, Michigan State.
Who? Go ahead.
No, you said one game, and I said the other game.
Okay,
Texas
gotcha.
Tech at Michigan State.
Gotcha. You know anything about these boys, man?
I mean, Virginia and Auburn is really who's exciting, but Michigan. I mean, it's all exciting, really, because I wouldn't expect any of these teams to. Virginia, I kind of expected to be there. To answer your question, no, I'm not very well versed in any of these teams. I haven't been following sports that much, especially March Madness, because I had a fucking kid. So yeah. I've been trying to learn his name, and none of these other boys. But as far as the schools, I mean, Virginia coming out, ranked number 1, that was pretty impressive. And then just seeing how Auburn has willed their way past opponents that I thought they shouldn't have beat.
Yeah. Good, exciting
like
brand of ball too.
Yeah. Charles Barkley got to be hitting the Buffalo.
I know that nigga is so fucking happy right now, man.
Yeah, he is. Every fucking game. He don't. Charles don't fucking talk about nothing else.
Yeah.
They be like, Charles, what do you think about Taco Fall? It was the taco sales. The Auburn boys are standing tall. And it's like, God damn it, everything.
He's like War Eagle.
Yeah, everything goes back to Auburn. So I'm excited, man, and I'm excited to see that game. Texas Tech. Shout out to E. Kenner, because I'm pretty sure that's where that boy went.
Who
out there? E. Kenner, my little guy was mentor, man.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I thought that was him. Like his face popped in my mind, but I was like, man, we ain't talked about him in a while.
Yeah. So Texas Tech playing Michigan State, and
actually, Texas
I got
Tech,
my pick, man. Who you think gonna win?
Actually, and I guess my little rant. Texas Tech actually got supposedly the best player left in the tournament. What's this guy name?
Well, yeah,
Jared Culver. He's
I
think if I'm not mistaken, one of the boys on ESPN had him ranked as a top 5 prospect for the NBA this year.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
now that Zion got eliminated,
and I guess I feel like I guess what I would love to see is for Charles to go ahead and get him a championship. I'd love to see that. For one, because I fuck with Charles, and then number 2, I would love to see the NCAA actually have to give that trophy to Bruce Pearl. Love to see that. because he's been in trouble with them in the past, and shit, he's kind of in the peripheral of all this Adidas thing, because when his assistant coach got fired behind it, so it's kind of murky water when with Auburn. As much as they said about LSU, Auburn's kind of in that same boat. But for some reason, man, I think Virginia is. I think the miracle ride of Auburn is gonna come to a close. I just don't think them boys gonna be able to continue, shooting like that, especially when they down one of their best players. I think Virginia's just gonna Virginia them out. And then in the other game, I just kind of feel like we expect Michigan State to win, and I think Texas Tech is gonna probably take that one just because of that. Like, I think if you ask the common fan, just the average person that pulls up and watches the game, they're gonna think Michigan State because it's kind of a household name when it comes to basketball. And I just think that hard-nosed defense that both Virginia and them play, it's going to end up being Virginia and Texas Tech in the championship game.
And who you got taking it off?
So, again, what I will say is, again, I would love to see Auburn.
What you mean what you will say?
Huh?
I said, what you mean what you would love? Who you think going to take?
I would love to see Auburn win this.
You didn't even pick Auburn to win the game.
But I think Virginia's going to win it all.
Okay. Hot takes and half truths, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
We're just because we're co-hosts doesn't mean we will pick the same prediction.
So what you got?
Because I got the complete fucking opposite.
So what you got going?
Since I got Auburn winning, I got Michigan State winning, and I got Auburn taking it all.
You got Auburn taking it all?
We got Auburn taking it all.
That's my nigga.
So I think Auburn gonna pull it out. I think Michigan State gonna pull it out, and we'll see them two battle it out. And I think Auburn gonna edge them because I just feel like them boys playing for something bigger than themselves right now, and they got fire in their eyes and they play, man. I
think that'll be the better of the two games. I mean, I think that would be the best championship game, but for some reason, I think it's gonna be they're gonna slow this thing down, both of them. Although, like, that's Michigan State ball, but I just feel like Tech's gonna beat them because it's just, I don't know. I just feel like it's one of them years. It's gonna be an ugly championship game. But I hope your prediction comes through, my man. With that said, man, what you got going on this weekend, baby?
Not a damn thing. Daddy duty.
Daddy duty.
Let the wife get relax and enjoy herself a little bit. She's been, probably the first week since the baby being born, that she was on her own. So I've been having to go to work. You know what I'm saying? So she even had the kid all day and all night, which is why I'm, not there. President had to call in today, but even that, I'm not even in there right now. So. That's what I think, though, man. Or that's what I'm gonna have going on. Just chilling at the house, giving her a break. So,
good deal, man. I mean, I ain't gonna be doing.
What about you?
Man. I'm chilling. I may get on the bike.
Yeah, big weekend last weekend. You recouping this weekend, huh?
Yeah, I may get on the bike a little bit, but I'm chilling. Yeah. Got
But yeah, man. So we might have a surprise for our listeners next week, though. So I don't want to announce it. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, because it may be something else. You never know. And be sure to hit us up on our social media platforms at HT Square Pod on IG and Twitter, Hot Takes and Half Truth Podcast on SoundCloud and YouTube. And if you're truly new school, old school, feel free to email us at htsquarepod@gmail.com. Forward us any topics or questions that you may have that you want to hear on the podcast, and we'll do our best to address them.
We got to hit. We got to see if they want to come out.
All right, we'll see.
Big.
With that said, from the two of us to all of you, we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah.